All right, let's get this thing started. All right, Ben, why don't you introduce yourself first?
All right, just my name, or you want me to say anything else?
Say whatever you want to. Your name, what schools you run for. Say just stuff like that.
All right, got you. Yeah, I'm Ben Fleming. Graduated from UNC Chapel Hill December 2023, and before that, I was at Virginia Tech. Now moved out to Boulder, Colorado, for some triathlon training. I'm with a small group here called Passion Project. Yeah, that's what I've been up to the past year.
All right. Travis, you're up next.
So, my name's Travis. I'm a sophomore at George Mason. Yeah.
Okay. Will, you're up next.
I'm Will. I'm a freshman at New Mexico. Yeah, I'm Virginia.
I think you cut out there for a second.
Boy, can you hear me now?
Yeah. You're good.
I'm Will. I'm a freshman at New Mexico. Yeah, I'm from Virginia.
All right. And then I'm Carson. Currently a sophomore at UNF. Ran for VCU last year. But let's get this thing started. So all right. I'm going to ask you all a few questions here, just get the things going. Some of them are going to be weird. Some of them are going to be, more intellectual. But let's start off with Ben, because I know Ben has been doing this for a long time, so he's very experienced between UNC, VT, Blacksburg. Now is more, I guess, professional running. What is your favorite pre-race tradition?
Let's see. To quote Michael Scott, I'm not very superstitious, but I am a little stitious. So I don't have too many traditions, I would say. I'm big on last thing I do before my race is a quick prayer. I usually tend to eat the same things just to calm my body. But I would say race tradition. Oh, the last song I listened to is Icon by Jaden Smith. And I just started that one time, and now it's the last thing I do before any race. So probably that might be my favorite.
All right. I like that. Okay, Will, you're up next. What is your favorite pre-race tradition?
It might be fun, but honestly, doom scrolling on TikTok, Instagram. I'm serious. It just kind of makes me not focus on it. If it's something, it's just kind of relaxed. But yeah, pretty much what Ben said, a thing. Don't do anything. Try to stay relaxed. But yeah.
All right. Sorry about that. I realized there was a echo there. Okay, Travis, you're up next.
I'd say my pre-race tradition is normally I'll just go onto YouTube or something and just find something random to watch that has nothing to do with running, just to calm those nerves a bit. It's a bit nerve-wracking sometimes. So, and then I usually do a prayer right before the gun goes off.
All right. I think that's kind of I think that's something everybody should do, for the race. Just kind of get into that zone where you can lock in and just remove all distractions. I think, Will, your distraction is actually helping you probably in the right way. Whereas in a normal circumstance, doom scrolling is probably not the best thing, but probably just getting your mind away from, other things around you, like people in, the stands or other athletes you see warming up or something. Just find your thing where you can get into your zone and get away from, oh, what if this goes wrong? What if this goes right? What if these people are watching me? So, my favorite pre-race tradition is I do like to pray before my races. But I also, I also am a big thing on like really goal setting on what I want to happen in the race. I'm not just going to walk into the race just like, just blinded about what am I supposed to do. I kind of like walk myself through the race. Like I close my eyes for about 5 minutes. I'll lay there and I'll envision myself, first lap, this is where I want to be. Second lap, this is where I want to be. Third lap, this is where I want to be. If that makes sense. So that's my favorite pre-race tradition. So, okay. This doesn't have to be running related at all. It can be totally like whatever you want it to be. It doesn't have to be healthy. It doesn't have to be, anything like that. What is your favorite meal in general? Guys, we'll start off with you.
I would just say like pasta. That's just like my favorite go-to when I'm hungry.
Just pasta?
Yeah, just pasta and like red sauce.
No protein?
No.
All right. That's valid. All right, Will, you're up.
Probably steak, eggs, and some veggies.
Steak, eggs, and vegetables?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty,
my question is like, when are you making steak and eggs at the same time? Like, are you cooking it yourself, or?
I got a friend here who cooks steak in the dorm.
All right.
And then sometimes I'll have eggs outside.
All right.
But at home, got just steak, potatoes. Yeah. It's pretty good. Can't go wrong.
Okay. I like that. I like that. It's a little more balanced there. All right, Ben. What is your favorite meal?
So I'm obviously out of college, so I can actually have a kitchen, which is pretty nice. I can cook a lot of meals, but usually cooking for just me, myself, and I. So I like making this giant pot of chicken pesto pasta, and it'll last me like 4 nights after that. It's come to be one of my favorites, probably.
All right. I think pasta is like a big running thing. Like, you always hear about the pasta party, before race day. Everybody's like, who's making pasta? So it's a valid decision. It's a good thing to carbo load. I say my favorite meal is probably something I don't get to eat often, and it's more home cooked, and that's I like some good salmon. I like some asparagus and mashed potatoes. That's a very I love that meal. When my mom cooks it, ooh, such a good meal. But that's my favorite meal in general. All right.
Valid.
All right. This next question is, what do you tell yourself in those moments before the gun goes off, or you get onto the starting line of the race, and they're calling up numbers. They're like, 3 go here, 5 go here, 7 line up here, and you get onto the track, and you're like, oh boy, this is it. What is the thought in your head, or is there any thought at all? So, Will, you go first.
Just got to full send it. Honestly, I feel like you just got to be confident in yourself and just say, I'm here to have fun, race. I mean, it's easy to stress, but I kind of say, like, man, just rip,
Yeah.
That guy is just a dude. Like, why get worked up about it?
Yeah, no, I get that. I think that's a good mentality. All right, Travis, you can go.
Well, let's say I always like to put a verse into my head. It's Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ that gives me strength, and I'm constantly replaying that in my head when I'm running, right before I run, and I'm just focusing on what's in front of me and the next person to usually pass.
All right, now Ben, you're up.
Reverse, by the way. I would probably say that when I get on the start line, it's been a little bit, but I usually just think, it's not going to be the end all be all either way. Like if I had the best race of my life or if I had the worst race of my life, it's not going to change too much. But I'm still going to have my teammates, family, pretty much everything is just every race is an opportunity. And everyone on the start line is probably feeling the same thing I am. And no matter who it is, everyone is in the race. Everyone has a shot to perform. And kind of just thinking that everyone's in the same boat usually helps me calm down a little bit, which is nice.
All right, so Ben, now that you've kind of transitioned from high school to collegiate to more of semi. Is it more okay? Let me clarify this. Is it more semi-professional or is it professional? You would say that you're doing right now.
Yeah. So the world of triathlon, it's a little different. Basically, how you become a pro is you can qualify for something called your pro card or your elite license through different types of criteria. So last summer, I was able to do that in my first summer racing. So this summer and so on, I'll be racing as a pro. And so it's not like pro and pro running. It's just like the type of triathlete you are. It's not like, I'm making a living. But yeah, technically it's called pro. So
I get that. Yeah. So has there been change in the mentality between, each kind of section or part of your life where in high school it was more like I'm having more fun and let's see where this goes, and then college is more serious. You got your team on your back, and then now it's more like I'm doing this for myself. Has there been a different mentality when it comes to the different kind of, I guess? I think you're taking it serious either way, but I'm guessing there is a difference, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great question. Because I feel like any high school runner, I was showing up to practice every day just to kind of see my friends and then stayed healthy. So I just slowly got good enough to run at my dream school. And then from there, again, was just healthy for 5 years straight. And so it was hard not to get better. And I never took myself too seriously. But I just had a lot of pretty amazing opportunities, amazing coaches. So it was honestly not difficult to get better. I just had to not be an idiot and kind of just do what my coaches said. Sometimes live a little bit of a boring life, and I think that I've kind of held that maturity to try and compete in triathlon. It's a pretty big risk, just kind of putting a more financially optimal life on hold right now to try to see how good I can get a try, which kind of helps me want to take it even more serious. But still having a ton of fun, as soon as I am no longer enjoying it, I think I'll be ready to move on.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I think it's a good spot to be in right now. I think, especially because now that you're out of college, but you're still on, the younger side of, I guess, you're still on because how old are you? 23, 20?
I'm 25.
25? Uh-huh. Oh, okay.
Hey,
so
I'm on the younger side.
That's right. That's right. I'm not equivalating for the COVID year because you did was it how many years was it VT, and then it was like a year and a half at UNC, right?
I did 5 at Virginia Tech, and I had cross and indoors at UNC.
Yeah. Okay. So I was in qualifying for that. So 25. That's still really young. So, but you're still looking, on the upside of things and still like trying to figure out what are you going to do with your life and stuff like that. So, I mean, I think you're in, it's a good spot to just like see where this is going to take you and, not be afraid of, putting your all into it. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just wanted to respond to a comment in the chat. I do work part-time. Wait, someone said 25 is crazy, get a job. I do work part-time, or else I wouldn't really have a place to live. So just trying to be, a working athlete over here.
I can't see the chat. Wait,
how do you see the chat?
No.
Are you on your, are you on a PC?
No, I'm on my phone.
It should be at the bottom.
Yeah, it is. The last comment just says "shut up, Cam," and it hasn't.
That's weird.
Did I leave and rejoin?
Sure, you can.
All right.
Just leave and rejoin really quick. All right. So, I guess I'll say what what I tell myself before I'm on the starting line and before the gun goes off is that I kind of developed this mentality starting my senior year when I needed to see where it was going to lead to and have no regrets at the end of the day and just put 100% in, where I was like, no matter what, this could be your last race ever. And I kind of had this mentality where I didn't take anything for granted. And I kind of wish that I started it earlier in my career. But what helped me was that you kind of just need to put everything else to the side and think about, if I want this last statement to be on my career, what do I want to end on? And so that helped me put in 100% into every single race. So I did a quick prayer to myself, and then I always told myself that, Carson, if this is your last race ever, obviously it wasn't, but if this is your last race ever, what do you want to put out there? You want to be 99%? No. Do you want to be 99.9%? No, you're going to put in 100%. So that was kind of mentality, and I would tell myself things like that before. And I still do in a way. But yeah, so that was kind of my pre-race thoughts. So we're waiting for Will to get back in, but I guess I can start with you, Travis, and then hopefully by the time Will is back in, what is the biggest difference between college and high school so far?
The biggest difference.
It doesn't have to be running related. Uh-huh. It can be running related, but just in general, the difference between college and high school.
Well, I think I could put a running related one and outside running one. I would say for running, then obviously the intensity is a lot higher. You're with the group that is more focused and more passionate about running compared to high school, where you get a small group, mainly just the varsity guys that are wanting to push themselves to the top limit. And when you get to college, everyone is like that. Most people are like that. And I would say outside of running, the biggest difference is that you're living away from home. You're becoming more independent. You're learning how to take classes and get tutors on your own without your parents being there, and just taking initiative for yourself.
Okay. So do you think the biggest difference is just it's more relying on the individual to get things done rather than, having a more of a high school environment mm-hmm. where it's kind of more communion based, where everybody wants to see you not saying that in college people don't want to see you successful, but it's more on yourself to kind of grow and, you know, figure out, oh, this is how I want to, you know, live my life, and this is how I want to put my effort into things. So, is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Okay. So Will, you weren't here for the question, but it's the biggest difference between college and high school so far. It doesn't have to be running related, but it can be. So you can go next.
I think there's just more free time. Like, you have much more, I guess, power to do whatever you want. You don't have anyone like telling you what to do, like your parents, or you're not at school the entire day. So I think you kind of have to be responsible to an extent and like get your stuff done on your own, kind of like Travis was saying. I think, yeah, I think that's the big thing. You got to do it on your own. You don't have someone telling you what to do. You got to be responsible for your own stuff.
All right. Yes, a lot more free time in college. It definitely, like, you got to remove the distractions and prioritize what you want to do with that free time. I think it puts a lot more stress on your shoulders to balance your life in college than in high school. Because in high school, it's a very like set schedule. You know, you got to be up at 7 a.m. You know, you got to get to school at 8:30. You go to school all day. You go to practice. You do your homework after school, and then you repeat and you repeat and you repeat. So there's a lot more variability and freedom in college. So I think that's all right, Ben. You can kind of have more experience in this, and I know high school was a kind of a little bit of time away, but what do your thoughts on that? The biggest difference between high school and college?
Yeah, I agree with what these guys have said for sure. But I would say the biggest thing for me was high school was not hard. Like, I did not try in school at all, and like it was fine. And college was hard. Like, I don't feel embarrassed saying that I like struggled academically. Like, there was no hand holding in college, and so I didn't have like my mom or dad reminding me I gotta do my homework or whatnot. And you know, you get a 0 on an assignment once, and you're like, all right, crap, yeah, that can't happen again. So I would say, academically speaking, college was a lot more difficult. But I don't know. It's just you're surrounded by, I think, more people who think the same way you do. Like in high school, your team is filled with, you know, first-time runners, and once you get to college, you're kind of just surrounded by people who are more like you, which for me was really awesome.
So, did you graduate from Virginia Tech?
Yes.
What was your degree in?
My degree was started out in BIT, then I went to marketing, then I was in like some sort of management, and then I ended up graduating with a degree in human development. And from there, I did grad school in like special education is the short way of saying it, but it was actually a different master's degree.
Okay. And BIT is Business Information Technology?
Yeah.
Sure. And then, so were you at Virginia Tech, were you working on the, what was it again? You graduated from UNC?
So the master's was called Masters of Applied Professional Studies, sort of a master's designed for athletes. And then within that master's program, you graduate with a focus, and the focus I chose was special education.
All right, got you. So were you working that as well at Virginia Tech? Like,
a little bit. I was involved in a program that worked with students with intellectual and developmental disabilities for a couple of years as I was graduating. So that's what kind of got me into it.
All right. That's pretty cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I think you can definitely apply that to a lot of things in real life. A lot of job opportunities in that. Real quick, Travis, you're a business major, correct?
Yes, I am.
Business major. Any specialized in business?
I'm still deciding. I'm thinking supply chain management or marketing.
Okay. And then Will, what is your major?
Business.
In business. Again, any specialized?
Not as of right now, but probably gonna go into finance.
Okay, got you. Any difficulties so far in that, Will?
I'm not gonna lie. My first semester was probably easier than every year of high school I've ever had. But classes started yesterday, so my accounting class looks pretty challenging. So yeah, it'll definitely be tough this semester, especially with all the traveling. Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, I still can't see like comments and stuff. So like, if anyone says anything, just I guess let me know.
I'll call it out. That's so weird.
I don't know why, because when I left and rejoined, it was popping back up, and now it's not. Bro, I don't know.
So, Travis, any difficulty in school so far? You can be
Not so far, but I've got I have to do quite a few classes. I have like accounting. I have to do accounting. It's a prerequisite. Market economics. It's like, and then there's business calculus, and then there's just a bunch of other business classes in there. But it shouldn't be too hard. It's just a lot of work.
All right. So, do you like Will? Do you like outside? Let's just throw running to the side. Let's throw Let's throw as a school in general. Do you like it so far?
Without the running,
Without the run, like the community, the social life, the the just the general campus and stuff like that. Do you like it so far?
I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, there were other schools that I liked the campuses and the student life more, but I think my kind of thought I know there's like the broken leg technique. It's like if you were to break your leg and never run again, would you still like it there? And I guess for me, I'd say probably no, but I think taking the risk to go to a program where I know I could be on a team that could win nationals and, develop into hopefully a nationally ranked athlete, I think was greater for me. And that's something that I wanted to do because I was like, you only live once, I'd rather go somewhere where I could be a super fast runner and, have all these resources and maybe go somewhere that's better academically. Maybe I like the campus and stuff more, but, run my 4 or 5 years and then just quit.
Yeah, no, I think it's you gotta really ask yourself what am I willing to sacrifice, prioritize, and what I want to do. It's okay if you want to go all running, but just know that that's what I'm here to do. You gotta once you full send it, you gotta stick with it. So you can't. Yeah. Obviously, with the transfer portal now, it's a little easier to do it, but still, trust me, it's a pain to go through that, especially nowadays with the new NCAA rule changes and roster limits and stuff. I mean, so especially now, what I tell the juniors and seniors in high school is you got to know where you want to go. Don't just go to a school because there's some Division III school to run just because you like to run. Know that, okay, this is going to be my life for the next 4 or 5 years. Am I going to actually like it there? Yeah. I think in your scenario, you were really talented runner in high school, and you can kind of see going forward that, okay, this might be able to actually work out. So I think it's a good opportunity for you, but not necessarily for everybody. I think people should understand.
Yeah, I mean, and I think the most important thing is set the campus aside, whatever. Just finding a team you like. Like, I love my boys. We get along well. I mean, I think that would sell it for me completely. Like, I mean, we don't go out and do anything, bro. Half the time we're sitting on the couch playing FIFA. A few of us have been watching Suits. Like, we just been binging Suits. Just like doing whatever. It's like, it doesn't matter where you're at. Like, as long as you got, your boys with you, it's all good. I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave and rejoin one more time, just because my thing is still being.
All right. That sounds good. Travis, same question to you. Besides running, besides school, and you can be completely honest. This is an open, honest conversation. Obviously, if you don't want to share something, it's completely fine. But you like the school there?
I would say I definitely do like the school, and like the business school that I'm in is it's very good. They have a good reputation there. Outside of like that school, like outside the business school, I would probably want to go somewhere where I would enjoy the campus more. But obviously, I'm not here for like just the campus life and the college life that people always are talking about. You're going to college to get a degree and to also compete at the NCAA level.
Yeah, I think we can come back to you on this, Ben. You're a great example of being able to balance being a very talented runner in college, but also graduate with not one but 2 degrees that are going to help you out in the long run. I think that's like you were second team All-American. Like, not many people in the world could ever say that they did that. And yet on top of that, you still were able to graduate with both a bachelor's and a master's. So that just shows you how important graduating from school is and choosing the school that you really like to run at, even outside of running, to be honest. But does that make sense? Did I fill in the gaps there, Ben?
You cut out there just for a second. Can you summarize what you just said?
Oh, I just basically said that you did a good you had a good decision when it came to the school that you wanted to go to, because you were able to graduate with both a bachelor's and a master's degree, and on top of it, be able second team All-American. Not many people get to ever say they get to do that. So, but that's what I'm basically just saying. It's like, you can do the things that you want to, but that's how important school is as well. So
yeah, for me, it's pretty easy. I agree with what these guys said. Like, you got to kind of weigh the pros and cons when choosing a school if you're going to be an athlete. Like, it's good to think about what would happen if you weren't on the team, but sometimes the team can be compelling enough to want to go to the school. For me, it was easy because I grew up in Blacksburg, where Virginia Tech is, and I knew I wanted to go to that school, and luckily I had the privilege to be able to walk onto the team, and so it was I was really lucky to be able to do that. But I think I would have gone to the school anyways. I second what the other boys were saying.
all right. So hopefully Will can. Oh, I keep on. That's my bad. I keep on forgetting that I have to invite him. So, Will, you should have got an invite. I don't know if you're there or not. All right, last question before we move on to the next segment. And this, I want to keep this one shorter because it can definitely be a long conversation and is more individualized between the person. But what is the best way you can bounce back from sickness and injury? Ben, you can go first.
So it's tough. Kind of like I mentioned before, at Tech I had a super healthy 5 years, so I didn't really experience any sort of hardships with the sickness or injury. I guess I did have mono, but it was a pretty mild case. But then when I went to UNC, I had kind of a bad string of luck with a hernia and then some issues with my bunion and a torn plantar plate, just some weird things going on. I would say the biggest thing with coming back is just kind of the generic answer, but take it day by day. Like, you're not going to get back to where you were in a second. But it's kind of exciting to see the big gains made up shortly. Just take it day by day. That's the biggest thing, I would say.
All right. Oh, there we go. Okay. Travis, you're up next.
Well, I'm not, knock on wood, I'm pretty good at staying out of health issues and sicknesses and injuries, but I've had small little moments where I've gotten food poisoning and just small little things. I'd say the best thing that you can do is to just be patient and take it day by day. Like what Ben said, you just have to take it day by day and don't overthink it, and just almost like enjoy that process of getting back to where you were. So it can be really discouraging at times when you're like at a low and you're like, I'm never going to get back there. And then some days you're going to be like, I believe in myself and I can get back up there.
Yeah. I do remember back in high school, Travis, you were definitely one of the few guys that I don't think I ever saw get injured or sick or anything. And I think it's because you definitely dedicated yourself to do those little things outside of running, especially recovery-based stuff, and getting good sleep and eating right and stuff like that. Yeah. So, but Will, I don't know. Did you hear the question earlier?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
I think with injuries, like I got injured quite a bit in high school, and I always ran through it, which wasn't smart. But I think at the end of the day, like coming into college, like my senior year wasn't great because of injuries. And I think you just kind of have to tell yourself when you're building back up, it's like, how bad do you want it? Like, everyone gets hurt, but I mean, for example, look at Graham Blanks, got hurt, made the Olympics, won nationals. It can happen. So when you're hurt, like, I guess just don't say it's all over. You just kind of have to switch your mindset up and just, tell yourself you want this. I mean, it happens, but it's going to help you get better. It's going to help you grow as a person. So, yeah, I think.
Yeah. Will, do you want to touch up a little bit on how you were able to kind of not lose that much fitness in high school when you were injured? Because I know there was a period when you couldn't run at all, and it seemed like you didn't really lose that much fitness during that, skipping that season.
I think it's tough to say completely. So my cross country season ended, like, I ran milestat, which is we all know milestat at Pole Green. I ran like 15:30, and I was super pissed about it, and I was going through tendonitis. So I decided to call my season, and then I took all this time off. I probably took 2 weeks off running, and then I sat down with my track coach, and we just kind of talked, and we were like, do we want to skip indoor or do we want to run outdoor? And I was like, I want to run indoor. I don't want to miss out on my final season since I missed out on cross. And we built a plan, and yeah, I struggled the first couple of races. I think I went to the Millrose trials. I wanted to get to the Millrose games. I ran like slower than my 2 mile pace. I ran like 4:35 or something crazy like that. I was like, dude, what am I doing? And I think it was just kind of partially mental, but partially like maybe the fitness wasn't there. So I just stayed patient with my coach. I had a lot of rough races, and then got to state, finished second to tie indoor, and I was like already getting back to it after a few weeks. So I think it's mostly mental. I think you can do the little things, you can cross train, and your fitness doesn't really go away that much. I think where people start to fail or, not run as well as they tell themselves in their head, oh, this guy's been training longer than me. He has more miles than me, all this. And at the end of the day, it's like, I guess kind of back to that same mindset, like, how bad do you want it? There were guys in that race who were definitely more fit than me. And I was just like, why not me? Like, why not?
Yeah.
Why can't Yeah.
I think 100% what you're saying. And I think while you're sick or injured, it can, and maybe this is an unpopular opinion, your mental actually weighs in more than your physical. Like, because those doubts start to creep in your mind. Like, what if I'm not there on race day? What if I, not ready, what if I into a mile in, I pass out during the race or something like that. And I think you have to trust yourself. You have to trust in, I have done this for so long and I've put in so many hours that no matter what happens here, even if things go wrong, I know that I can bounce back. I know that I can get there to where I used to be, or even better. And I mean, you have people like Parker Valby that only run like 30 to 35 miles a week and cross train the rest of it and are six-time national champion, qualified to the Olympics. So it's doable. Like,
yeah.
Don't tell yourself, just because this happens to you, my season's over with. I can't.
Yeah, for sure. I think a really good example is my teammate Haptum. He fell in the 10K at nationals with, 900 meters to go. Gets up, wins the thing, cross nationals, gets stepped on, loses his shoe. He had like 10 stitches in his feet after the race, couldn't walk for like a week. Finishes second. So I think it's, all the doubt can creep in your mind, but at the end of the day, it's like you just have to want it. If you start playing excuses in your head, then you've already lost. It's just so he's a great reminder to all of us, that like you can still do it, no matter what happens. And yeah, he's a great teammate. He built us up about that kind of stuff, and it's really helped my mindset.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. Ben, what was the biggest injury you were hit with in high school or college, or even in the last year?
So high school, I was healthy. I don't think I was training hard enough to to get hurt. But Virginia Tech also healthy, and then like I would kind of mention before, UNC. I got an inguinal hernia like a week into being there, which isn't even like a sports hernia. It's like the old man hernia. So that's pretty random. And then from there, kind of had a bad string of luck. A bunion that was causing some issues. Kind of changed the way my form was, which caused me to tear my plantar plate. So while I was at UNC, I had to get surgery on my foot, which wasn't crazy. I was in a boot for a couple months. Pretty slow comeback, but that was probably the most major injury I had.
Yeah, that is never fun. Never fun. Those things, and it's not even the injury where you're like, oh, I broke my leg and I know that I can't run. You want to like run on it so badly because you're like, how is this little thing, this tiny thing, getting in the way of me, putting in 70, 80 miles a week, like 90 miles a week. I mean, I don't know. I'm guessing that's what your range was around at UNC, right? 70, 80, 90.
Yeah, that's about what it was. It was pretty bizarre because the hernia was, it wasn't related to running at all. But it's just like my lower abdomen was pretty messed up. And so that was like a very bizarre injury because after a week and a half, I felt fine and wanted to just get right back to it, but I couldn't, which was weird. But kind of going back to what Will was saying about like focus on what you can do, whether it's cross train or the rehab you're doing. It makes it a lot easier when there's a plan and you can still wake up and be like, all right, like, going to check off what I need to do on the day. It's a little bit worse when you're kind of just sitting there not knowing what you can do to get better. But luckily, I've been blessed with good like athletic trainers and doctors that have been on top of the times when I was injured. So,
all right, yeah. No, I think that's. I think you definitely took the best way around it. I think it's very tempting in your position where, you know, you're kind of at the end of the career and you're like, I don't want to have to go through anything. I just want to power through it. So, but I think you definitely took the right move on that. So, now I'm gonna open it up to any questions anybody have about any relating, college related, post college rated stuff. Any questions you guys want to ask? So go ahead. And if not, we can wrap this thing up. But I'll give about a few minutes to anybody that wants to ask any questions. If you guys want to have anything to say or want to fill in. All right, it says, question is what were your guys' moments where you were like, oh, I want to do this in college? Anybody want to speak on that?
I mean, I can go if that's chill. I think for me, when I quit soccer sophomore year and decided to run, I think I ran I qualified for state indoor, but I did bad. And then we got to outdoor and I got all state, first outdoor track state meet ever. And I was like, I ran 9:27, which isn't anything crazy, but I was like, you know, I could actually do this, and, maybe play soccer, maybe play D3, D2 at best. And I'm like, I think I have some potential to run D1 and, maybe get a full ride. And that would be so cool. So I think from then on, I was just like, let's do it.
Yeah. Oh, what's up, Hugo? Anybody else want to speak on that?
I would say when I truly committed myself was probably into actually COVID. COVID is where I truly was like, I'm going to actually commit myself to this because during COVID, there was literally nothing to do but sit around and not go anywhere. So I decided to be really consistent on training and lifting and all the small things that come with making yourself better. So that's where I truly decided to actually put the work in. And I saw my times in my junior year and my sophomore year start to drop to the point of where I could get into a Division I school.
Yeah, I think that was exactly how I felt. I think COVID kind of sucked the fun away from life. Like there was nothing to do, especially in Virginia. I mean, I talked to a bunch of my friends now in Florida, and they're like, "COVID, bro, that never happened." Like, but
dude, I don't know, bro. I played so much Fortnite.
It was insane. So I think I realized I was like, I really need to find some hobby to do, or I'm going to go mentally insane. So I picked up. I ran before, but I it wasn't really anything too serious. And then when COVID hit, that's when I kind of just really locked in on the sport. So, all right. Another question here. This is for Will. Is elevation training worth all the hype? Isn't humidity the same? I don't know. You gotta decipher that one.
I definitely think altitude is more beneficial than humidity. Like doing lactic sessions at altitude versus humidity. When you show up to a sea level race, you're gonna see the difference. But I don't know. I think humidity might be harder, but I think altitude's more beneficial. But honestly, I have not seen the hype yet. Both of my races I've ran at sea level have been awful, and then every race I've done at altitude has been great. So I've yet to see the results, but I think we're going to UW next weekend. So yeah, we'll see if it finally pays off.
That's a hype environment right there.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Will clarifies a 1450 is a bad race. So,
bro, because I ran like a converted 807 3K like 2 weeks before that. So a 1450 whatever isn't gonna cut it here.
Maybe in your scenario, yes, but a 1450 is still a 1450. So let's not. Yeah,
we got a woman on our team named Pamela. She's the best. I would have beaten her by 4 seconds. So it's definitely, I mean, yeah, I don't know. That race was something. It was first time at BU. Got a little too excited and just mentally wasn't there.
All right. Next question. Oh, this is for Ben. It says unrelated to running, but how does it feel being an UNC? Day-to-day responsibility from college to out in the real world, not in.
Yeah, fair question, honestly. College is definitely way more fun. It does kind of suck having to be a lot more responsible. I'm still in search of like the prime work training balance. It's tricky right now. I'm training about like 23 to 25 hours a week, and working about 25 to 30, and kind of just barely getting by. So I'm trying to find something where I'm earning a little bit more and working a little bit less. But I was lucky to have parents to kind of help me with this step post-collegiately, the move out to Boulder, where I think a lot of people in my situation would have to do it completely solo. I have super supportive parents, which is nice. But no, it's a grind. I mean, I have a little bit of a chip on my shoulder because I know I'm working hard in more areas than just triathlon. But I would say enjoy not having to work while you can and trying to be, fully committed to running in school. Like it sounds like Travis and Will are pretty smart guys and don't have to stress too much about school. So, just having to worry about running is pretty nice. So,
yeah.
Dude, wait, can I touch on? Oh, sorry.
What were you gonna say, Will?
I was gonna say, I don't even think we can consider Ben an UNC anymore, bro. With the amount of guys in the NCAA now, bro, Ben would just be a regular dude at this point.
That's true.
Bro, I've been hearing too much Ben hate here.
What was that name? The guy from BYU. He's like 26.
Bro, but Casey. Here's the thing with Casey. Bro, he still went on his mission. He got injured. Like, honestly, I think I saw him the other day. I'm not going to lie. Like, at our indoor track. Because he signed with Brooks. And Brooks trains here. And we're walking out of our indoor track. It's like Brandon Miller, Josh Kerr, and I think it was Casey. I was like, that's sick.
Wait.
But yeah.
Josh Kerr was there too?
Yeah, Josh Kerr trains with us all the time. He went to New Mexico. So, like, he's always here. Actually, the other day we were on the trail. And I was going down the bridge. We had a little bridge, and they were running by, and he absolutely ate it. Like, he, tripped and, went flying.
Nice.
Jakob would never do that.
The Josh Kerr, Jakob Ingebrigtsen beef is crazy, bro. The funny thing is they're both beefing over each other, and Cole Hawker really just beat them in the.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm always going to be a Jakob fan. I think he's going to be the best runner of all time.
Wow. Going against your own school? That's crazy.
Well, I've been a Jakob fan before. I'm not gonna glaze Josh Kerr just because I committed here. And like my coach didn't coach Josh Kerr. It was the coach before. So there's no real like super close ties there. Like he pops in every once in a while. We say hi, and that's about it.
Hassan said none of them got the medal. All right, Travis. This is a question for you. What are your guys' thoughts on a lot of creators saying college track is slowly dying because of the NCAA roster cuts?
That's a good question. We don't really, our coaches don't 100% know what is going to happen with the roster limits and all that. But what he said is that no matter if you're the fastest or the slowest guy on the team, you're not safe. And even if you have scholarship, it's this unknown going into it. So I think the best thing that people can do that are in the situation or going into it have to just focus on what they can do at their best. That's what I've told myself. I just got to work my hardest and run as fast as I can so I don't get cut or anything. But
yeah,
saying that NCAA is dying is a bold statement because, if anything, it's going to increase the competition. Because if you're cutting off the slower athletes and you're having a group that is a lot closer in times, it's going to make the NCAA even faster, which is hard to think about. It's so fast now. And it's going to bring more competition. Scholarships are going to be more openly available for the people that truly deserve it. I suppose that's
I agree with it. I think everything you said right there is correct, Travis. I think the one thing that is harming, though, is generally people that were. This is hard to say. I think it comes down to people that were in high school that were maybe underdeveloped and kind of got to the sport late aren't going to be given an opportunity like that happened before. And I think there's been a lot of guys that have gone through that in the NCAA, and then they've been given the opportunity to slowly grow and develop and get into a position. But now it's like, if you're not at this level in high school, I'm sorry, there's no room for you on our team. I think it's going to make the NCAA faster, but I think it's also going to it's going to create this weird dynamic between the elite guys at the Division I level, but also guys that get to the league level, but have to take 3 or 4 years going through the Division II or Division III system or NAIA or junior to get to that. It's not like you can walk onto a Division I team and be able to match that. So that's just my.
Do you think that's I'm just asking, do you think that's a bad thing? Because you can see what's Alex Phillip who ran for UNC, right?
Yeah.
He I think he was D2 or D3 and showed up and ran well. And I think D2 there's probably going to be more money at some of those smaller schools for guys who are good but not elite, and maybe they can get more money. But I think the end of the day, it's going to make U.S. running so much better because it's going to be. It sucks it does suck to some extent, but I think overall it's just like what Travis was saying. it's just going to make everyone better. You're going to have to adjust. And I think we're going to develop higher athletes. I think USA is going to get so much better. I think the NCAA is going to grow. It sucks though with the rise of NIL. That's kind of ruining it. But
Yeah.
I think I think this is just a weird year. I think next year might be weird, but I think it's gonna work its way out for sure. But it's definitely a bit tricky for some athletes.
I think you're right on that, Will. But I will say two things about it. One is that for a major like me, mechanical engineering is only offered at predominantly Division I schools, and I can't go to Division III school and become a mechanical engineer. Like, if I want to run, I'm going to have to sacrifice one thing over the other, and I don't think you should have to make that sacrifice. Like, I'm good enough to walk on to a Division I school and be able to be a mechanical engineer, and I should have that opportunity. I shouldn't be forced to choose one or the other. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe that's just one of those things where, you gotta pick what you want more. But in my opinion, I don't think you should have to sacrifice one or the other. Two, guys like Mason Love will never happen. I don't know if you. I'm pretty sure, Will.
I'm
You know,
boys with Mason. I love Mason. I stayed at his
I was-
house.
and
So.
you know Mason Love. Probably heard of him before.
Yes, I love Mason.
I was just thinking about
Like,
that. Yeah.
that Mason's whole career was based upon people underestimating him and proving them wrong.
Yeah.
And that's really not going to happen anymore.
Yeah.
'Cause-
I think that's a con about it because my coach, Gerard, he likes to pick out like a few kids that could be projects. He can see that they do have that talent to run 14, like to win their conference and get All-American medals and all this stuff. So I think that's going to hurt some programs like George Mason's because Gerard is really good at finding those kids that they didn't run the times in high school to be at the Division I level, but he knows that those kids can get there, like Mason Love.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. And Will, I don't know exactly how the recruiting went, step by step between you, but I think, Will, if you're 2 years younger, I don't think you get on New Mexico's team. Like,
I don't
you see what I'm saying?
I wouldn't get on the team next year. Like our new walk-on standards, like 9 flat. So
exactly. You see what I'm saying?
I think in my opinion, like I think mid majors, like a lot of smaller D1s, like I would say for example, George Mason, like a lot of schools in the Big East, are just gonna grow so much more because they don't do some of the heavy international recruiting and not as much because a lot of those schools don't have football teams. There's not a big Title IX NIL influence, so they don't have to get rid of as many, I would say. Like for us, for example, we have a lot of guys who are on NIL deals on the team or the school is paying for to be here. So our track team goes from 45 this year to 28 next year.
Yeah.
Including everyone, not just distance, just everyone. So I think it's definitely tough. And I think our team is gonna, we're gonna lose some guys we like a lot. But I think, my coach's thing is, I'm here to win national championships, and it is a business, whether people want to admit it or not. NIL has turned it into a business. So, when you're in charge of a business, your job's to do as well as you can.
Yeah.
It's not, am I going to hurt this person's feelings? Am I people going to like me? It's to win. So, I think people just kind of got to start realizing, maybe stop complaining on the Instagram comments, work a bit harder. I'm serious. Like, there's so much complaining about it, but it's like, it is what it is. Complaining's not going to do anything. You just got to work harder. And unfortunately, sometimes it's finding a different program. And that can suck. I've never been through the process, but I know you have, Carson, Ben. I know it can be probably tough, but I think at the end of the day, it's like I was saying with injuries, sometimes like failure can help you grow. I know like Yassine Abdallah is big on that. I saw some and he's like, yeah, every time I fail, I just learn so much more. I mean, and that guy's been at 3 schools now. So
Yeah.
I think you can be successful anywhere. I think it's, crappy things are going to happen sometimes. It's not pouting, complaining. It's just like switching up your mindset and just saying like, wherever I'm going to go, I'm going to work my ass off and I'm going to make sure that to some extent, there's always weird scenarios out there and there's always like, sometimes people do kind of get pushed over, but, I don't know. I think it's being overhyped. I don't think it's going to be as bad. Like SEC's tough because it goes to 10, but other programs I think will be okay.
Yeah. I agree with that. I don't think it's as bad as people are making it out to be, but I do think it's bad.
Yeah.
I think it's gone. I think it's not. Let's just put it at minimum. It's not a fun situation to be in. It's not a fun situation for NCAA. It's not a fun situation for the coaches. It's not a fun situation for the athletes. Nobody wants to make these decisions.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. You can't control it. You can only control what you can do. You have to, and I don't think everybody that I've talked to, besides people that are trolling with me or kids that don't understand what I've been through or, what we've been through as athletes, I don't think anybody's going to walk around and be like, ha, 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 you got cut from a team. Like, nobody's going to,
No.
like we're all trying to elevate each other. We're all trying to help us. Nobody's going to be like, oh, you're terrible. You got cut from the team. Like, we all know it's coming. Like, and when do I think it's stupid? Yes. Do I have faith that everything's going to work out? That's also a yes. So it's just, what is your opportunity and what are you willing to do with the opportunity? So.
Yeah, for sure. I think it can help some athletes too. Like I know our team, we're going to get more scholarships now because of smaller roster and the scholarship cap isn't a thing anymore. So like everyone can get more money, which can help some people who do need the money, and who are, maybe on a scholarship, but they need that full ride. So I think it has its pros and cons, but I get what you're saying. I think it's going to be tough, but I think it'll work out.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, really the only person right now that can make any change about it is, I don't know if you guys have heard this, the Liberty men's distance coach is going to make a last case statement in April about it. So I think the only person you can really talk to about this, and if you want to make a change, you reach out to that guy. Any other kind of comments isn't going to do anything. So, but I'm gonna end it on 2 questions here, and then we're gonna wrap it up. So the first one is where was it? I think it was here. Okay, we got a question for Ben and we got a question for Will, and then we're gonna wrap it up. It says, oh, it's gone. I don't know. They whoever sent it, they deleted it. Oh, never mind. It says, Ben, could you beat Jakob in an Olympic distance triathlon?
I saw that one. It's from my friend Max, who's also former runner turned triathlete. So I'll keep it short because probably a lot of the people watching are here for the running content. So for an Olympic distance triathlon is a 1,500 meter swim, 40K bike, and then a 10K run. And to be honest, I know nothing about Jakob's swim, but I know a little bit about my swim, and I'm taking it. I think that I've made some big gains in a year, and I can get enough of a gap in the swim. And I mean, obviously he's going to be a strong biker, but I mean, I know how to get a little bit more aero than him probably. So it's not a blowout by any means. It's close. Like I'm talking probably like less than a minute. But I think 6 times out of 10 I'm beating him. So I
like that.
I truly have no idea.
Dude, bro, you gotta make it happen. You gotta be like, Jakob, we gotta do this race, bro. We gotta I got you. You know, put like 50K on the line or something like that.
50K. Yeah, no. Yeah, maybe I'll have to do my research and then give you a better answer. Yeah, because now that I think about it, I don't know. It's a toss up. I think maybe yes.
All right. Last question for Will. Does Will have a crush on Hampton Samuel?
Bro, this comment has been like, so my Instagram's like been glitching. Bro, this comment's been on the thing for like 30 minutes, like on my screen. I don't even know how to answer this. Like, no, but like he's hella inspirational, dude. Like, bro shows up every day, says hi to all the guys. You know, I'll touch on this even though it's not one of the questions. Everyone hates on like the African runners and stuff, but bro, these are the nicest guys you will ever meet in your life. Bro, like I genuinely love every single guy. They're the nicest people ever. They come every day. They fist bump, hug us every single practice, ask how we're doing, no matter how good, no matter how bad we are. They're always coming up, talking to us, especially Haptum.
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
This guy should be.
Oh, sorry, cut you off. You can continue.
This guy qualified basically. He ran the Olympic qualifier time. I mean, it sucks he couldn't run, but like this guy should be an Olympian. And you know, he's running whatever our high school PRs and his like easy day tempos, bro. Like it's mind blowing to be on a team with someone that good. And then we just got this guy Ishmael, who's the U20 cross country world champ, and like. Dude, he's the funniest dude. I love him. He's so cool. So, like, I don't know. I wouldn't say I have a crush on these guys, but I look up to them. They're really good people, and they've taught me a lot since I've been here. So
yeah, I'll say 2 things. One, they have their own struggles, like making that huge culture change between living in Africa and coming all the way to the United States and running. I think a lot of people forget about that. Like, it's a huge deal for them too. Like it's a whole new environment. They got to get used to things. I don't think it's just as easy as, oh, they were super good in Africa. Let's go to the NCAA and just run things. And you see that with how the NCAA played out at the national championships. Like Grand Blanc still won. What does that tell you? It tells you that they still have their their competition to deal with, and it's not as easy as people think it is. So, and they are very good people. The second thing is at VCU, I had 2 roommates that were from Nigeria that were sprinters from Nigeria. Some of the most like, I mean, down to earth people you'll ever meet. Like they really have this calming and kind of like they don't get stressed about anything. Like, I mean, nothing worries them, nothing phases them, and I think there's something we have to learn about that too. Like, you know, they're just here. They're here to have fun as much as we are. Like, so, I mean, I think it's just like, it's just, you know, with the whole NCAA things, like, just, you know, before you really like go and pinpoint and hate on other people, really look into yourself and be like, is there things that I need to improve on my life?
Yeah, for sure.
So
yeah, all the I always see the comments. All the haters are always like, I don't want to be mean, but like usually they're like pretty bad. Like
yeah,
they're not gonna run for some amazing program, and I don't see. You know, I've actually talked to Blanks because he's good friends with Haptum. Like I've never seen Blanks, Parker Wolf, any of those top guys, bro, complain. Oh, blah blah blah. They're coming. Like they don't care. For them, it's like it's a more of a reason, I guess, to get better and to, you know, I mean, I just think if you're gonna make that excuse, you know, you don't want it bad enough. They're just a person. They're people just like you. They don't have a. They're not superheroes. They're people. You know. So if you're gonna complain about it, you don't want it bad enough.
yeah. I think you're just wasting time complaining. Like, not only is it disrespectful, but it's like, what's the point? I mean, what is the point? Like, don't, you know, like you're wasting time, dude. You're wasting time. You could have spent that, instead of complaining, you could have spent that time in the gym an extra minute or something like that. Like, it's a little stupid. So
For sure.
I think, and we're all here to get along on this planet. Like, you know, God didn't send us here to argue and fight with each other and, you know, just pinpoint all the mistakes each other's making. You know, we've all made mistakes. We've all done things that, you know, we're not proud of, but it's how you move forward and you get along with people and you really, because even in things where you don't really see like the greater good in doing it, I'm telling you right now, there's always an upside to something that you don't believe in. Like, I mean, and that's just anything with life. So, and with the major recruiting from Africa coming in, there's, you know, you can really shape your mind to think of all the negatives coming out of it, but think of all the positives coming out of it. You get to, you know, hang out with a new kind of culture. You get to learn about the other side of life. You get to figure out, you know, like, oh, how am I going to get better? How am I going to get stronger? How am I going to get more mentally, you know, in shape? So kind of just flip it around. Think about the positives. So,
yeah.
But I think that is it.
Cool.
I'm just making sure nobody else said anything, and we're gonna wrap it up. Okay. What do you think about one, you know, facing Jakob in the near future? Is he talking about Lex and Leo?
What?
Is he talking about Lex and Leo or Nico or Young's racing Jakob and he's talking about Lex, Leo, and Nico, right?
What's the comment?
The Young's racing Jakob in the near future, good race or no chance?
The Twins, no chance. Nico, I don't know. Probably not.
I think that's a little. I don't think they're really going to be contesting each other in the same. I think Nico's more of a 10K guy, right? Like,
bro, I'm telling you, no one's beating Jakob in this next Olympics, bro. Bro, you forgot. Like Kerr's got like 4 years on him. The guy's still like 23. Bro could be in the NCAA right now, and he'd be fine. Like,
yeah,
he would not be considered an unk.
Yeah. No, yeah.
He's got 2 Olympic golds. I don't even know how many world records.
Yeah. No, it's insane. I think I'm going to make a bold statement. I think he runs, I think he runs 3:46 in the indoor mile this season. 3:46.
I don't know, man. I feel like for him to run that fast, he'd have to peak for indoor. Like,
I think
because that's
he's
like
already in that good of a shape. I think he's already in that good shape. I think he breaks the mile record outdoors.
Yeah, I saw some crazy thing that was like he could beat Cheptegei's 5K record at just like 12:29. I was like, there's no way.
I think he can do it. I think you 3:46 indoors, and I think he breaks it outdoors.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see. That'll be interesting.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure. Ben Fleming, Travis Albon, Will Pardue. I really appreciate answering all the questions. And you know, I really hope you all the best moving forward. I know Travis, you're gonna have a great season coming up. I see the training. Will, I think you're gonna have a really good season coming up, especially as a freshman. I think, like, be more, have a little bit of chip on your shoulder, like,
for sure.
Just go out there and do your thing. So, and Ben, I love seeing all the content posted on the triathlon stuff. I think it's really cool. So continue doing that. But this is really fun.
Oh yeah, thanks for having us on, man.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
One more thing. I totally just realized that we were all at that running camp together, and that Ben was our counselor, bro. I just put it together.
Dude, they're already calling me an unk. I had to look up what an unk meant. I didn't even know. So don't be saying stuff like that.
All right, guys. Thank y'all so much.
Yeah,
Peace out, y'all. Have a good night. Love y'all, brothers.
Bye.